So all you're going to need is a mat. If you want to, you can grab some pillows, but you're going to come to lie onto your tummy. And to start with, we're just going to stack your hands one on top of the other, or you can grab that pillow and you're going to let your head just rest. Now from here, I just want you to wiggle your bottom side to side. Okay, feel how when you wiggle your bottom side to side, your legs move, your pelvis moves, your lower back moves. This is always a really nice place to come back to after we've done a little bit of back work. And then from here, just make yourself really comfortable. And we're going to start by just pressing your pubic bone into the floor. So with that pubic bone press, you will feel your kind of glutes switch on a little bit more, but they're not clenching. Those legs are reaching away from you, and you're going to hold it there. And all we're going to do is allow our nose and our forehead to just slightly hover off of our hands. And this is already now activating the back of your body. And then you're just going to let your forehead go and let your bottom relax. And we're going to go into a few pelvic tilts. So if you tuck that tailbone under, you'll feel your bottom really squeeze. And as you stick your bottom out, you'll feel your lower back arch. And just do those for me. And I want you to feel how those bottom muscles really are squeezing to try and tuck your tailbone through your legs. And that's really important because when we go into a lot of our prone work, as I said in the previous class, we really want to feel that it's not your glutes just squeezing, because that's not going to protect your lower back, but it's the position of where your pelvis can go. So just do a couple more of those for me. And then I'm going to get you to pause in the middle, and I want you to go back to that pubic bone press. And so if you just push your pubic bone, imagine you're really trying to send your pubic bone into the floor. Notice what that is like compared to the pelvic tilt. If you're not sure, go back and have another go. And from here again, just hover your forehead off your hands. You should almost be able to feel those little hairs still that's on your skin onto your hand. So there's really small gap. And we're going to bring our hands one at a time down by our chest. Okay, so palm of your hands almost in line with your nipples. And you're going to bring your nose down so it really is just hovered off the floor. And this is already working the whole back of your body. Now we're going to take this into a prone press. So I want you to really reach your legs away, make sure they're as straight as they can go, and that pubic bone should still be pressing. If you just kind of shake your head left to right like you're saying no onto the floor, then you should never quite hit that nose on the floor. And you're just going to press down into your arms and allow your rib cage to rotate backwards for you to come up. And we're going to keep your lowest ribs on the floor, so you're not allowing them to kind of lift up. We're not going into a full swan, we're just going into a prone press. And then you're going to come back to that nose hover. And we're going to go again. Now have the feeling that your hands are pushing not only down to let you come up, but also away from you. Okay, so they're not sliding on the mat or anything, but all they're doing is pushing down and away to come up. And then if you almost just release the pressure in your hand as you come down, and we're going to go again. So we're keeping the activation into the back of us as we come up and down. Okay, and it's really that simple. And we're asking our spine to just move into this extension. Now, how far do you go? As far as you can feel that you're maintaining all this lovely tension, but you're not feeling it too much in your lower back. And you should be able to breathe here. And on this one, we're going to come up and we're going to stay up. So you're going to press yourself up, and we're going to stay up at this point. And I want you to pause there. Now really keep your pubic bone pressing into the floor. Legs are nice and strong here. They're working for you. Gaze is looking down towards the mat rather than up in front of you. And here you're just going to allow one hand to just lift off the floor. And notice that that side of your back has to automatically work harder. And then let it come down again. And you're going to lift the other hand. Again, notice what has to happen with your back. Let it come down. And then just bring yourself all the way back down. We're going to do that again. So we've still got that pubic bone press, legs are reaching away, and you're going to start to come up. One hand lifts and lowers, the other hand does and lowers, and come back down again. Now, if that's enough for you, keep going there. Otherwise, we're going to come up, we're going to stay up, and as you breathe out, you're going to lift one hand and the other hand. Can you stay there? Let one hand come down and the other hand to come back. Keep going. So up we come, the hands can lift. Can you stay there? Your upper back, mid back should be working quite a lot. Hands come down, you go down. We're going to do just one more, then you'll get a little bit of a break, I promise. So you're going to feel this quite a lot around your shoulder blades, around your upper back, and all the way down again. Take your time, push yourself all the way up into a child's pose. So we're going to go wide knees, bottom to hips, let your head just rest, and you're just going to allow your spine to move any way that it wants to in order to give yourself that little bit of a stretch before we come back down onto our tummy. So take a few big breaths here, trying to expand the whole of you, trying to go really wide. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back to the floor. And what we're going to do this time is have your hands almost a bit wider than the top of your mat. So your arms will be out kind of almost at sort of 11 or 10, 11 o'clock and kind of 2, 3 o'clock. And your forehead again is just going to rest off of the mat. So your nose has got that little bit of lift away from the mat. So we're going to come into some swimming prep. So just to start with, nothing changes. We're going to press that pubic bone into the floor, really reach those legs long. And you're going to turn those palms towards each other. And all we're going to do is reach one hand off the floor and back down again, and the other hand off the floor and back down again. And we're going to keep going. Now you will feel your shoulder blade lift up. It will slide up towards your ear and it will settle when your hand comes back down again. So I want you to imagine that you're trying to reach your hand away from you to lift it. Imagine someone's on your middle finger and they're pulling your arm away for you to lift, and then just letting it go down. Someone's really trying to stretch you, and you come down. And that way your arm should be really straight. You'll also get that little bit of give in your shoulder blades, so it will lift up, it will go back down again, and all that's normal. That's what we want it to do. We're going to make this our last one. And pause there. You can let your palms rest on the floor, keep your nose hovered, push your pubic bone down into the floor if it's not already, reach one foot away from you in order to lift the leg. Bring it back down again, and the other side, and back down again. So again, we're looking to go away from you to come up. So it's almost like you've now got someone on your big toe, and they're pulling your big toe away from you. And you should feel this in the kind of bottom of your foot, calf, back of your thigh, bottom. Again, not in your lower back. Let's do one more each side. And then we're going to combine that movement. So we're going to go for opposite arm and opposite leg. We're going to make it a little bit easier. So I want you to gently keep heavy in one side of your arm and leg, so opposite sides. And you're going to reach one arm, one leg away from you. So it's like someone's playing tug of war with your body. And then you're bringing it all the way back down again. And you're going to do the opposite side. So reach it all the way away. And bring it back down. Keep going. So just notice your nose. Is your nose getting higher and higher and higher from the floor? Or can you keep it in the same place? So we're challenging your shoulder range of movement, your hip movement, rather than coming up into lots of extension. So we're going to do a couple more here. Last one. And then pause. Your hands are going to swing round and come palms up. Nose is still hovered off that floor. Give your head a bit of a shake like you're saying no. pubic bone is still pressed into the floor. The legs are reaching away from you, and this time it's like your fingertips are going to slide down your mat. You'll feel your shoulders turn outwards and open, and you're going to start to lift up, almost like into that prone press position, but without your hands. And then you're going to come back down again. And you can come all the way down, head reaches to one side. So we can keep the hands on the floor if you want, but again, we're going to come back up again. So notice this, as soon as I press my pubic bone and reach the legs, I'm active. If I turn my head, my shoulders automatically respond a bit. And if I keep turning my shoulders out and reach my hands down towards my feet, I'll start to turn up. And then you can come back down again, your shoulders will round forward, your head can go in the opposite direction. And we're going to come again. So press, reach with the legs, head hovers, arms turn outwards and reach. You can see my palms are now facing my hips. That can help you. If you want to stay palms up towards the ceiling, that's fine. And then just allow yourself to come back down. Let everything round forward. And we're going to go again. Pubic bone, legs reach. Head slowly turns so you can feel your arms turn outwards. Keep letting them turn outwards as you pick yourself back up again. And then all the way back down to the other side. We're going to do just one more there. So press and reach with the legs, hover the nose, turn the hands, reach them away from you, hold it there, and we're going to have a bit of a pause. Can you shake your head again? Can you breathe? So can you expand your tummy? You'll go up a little bit higher. Can you breathe out? And just keep going for me. Just take a couple more breaths. This is your last exercise on your tummy. One more. And then let yourself come all the way down, but we're going to push all the way back to a child's pose again. Nice wide knees. Send your hands forward. Let your head just rest on that floor. If you can't quite get there, you can pop some pillows on your heels and you can sit on those. But again, just letting yourself round in the opposite direction. And if you want to, you can go knees close together so you get a little bit more roundness across your lower back. Take some really nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up onto all fours for your last exercise. So from here, all we're going to do to start with is a couple of pelvic tilts. So can you keep, not a full cat-cow, but we're just going to find where your pelvis can kind of roll and stick itself out and stick itself under. And I want you to take your weight a little bit back into your legs. So we've got about 65–70% of the weight in your legs. Now from here, allow yourself to sag and really press down into your hands, and your arms should be on the outside of your body. So keep that press here. And all we're going to do is stand into the opposite arm, opposite leg, slide your fingertips along the mat, and then bring them back in. Stand into opposite arm, opposite leg, slide your hand to mat, and bring it back in. Keep doing that for me, and you'll feel your weight shift, and you'll feel everything kind of change. But one point, one hand is the kind of solid entity, and we're not lifting that hand up. We're just feeling that nothing really has to happen. We're that lily pad on a pond. Things are moving a little bit, but nothing crazy. And pause there. This time it's going to be your legs. So stand into your hands, stand into one leg and slide the shin along the floor until the foot comes so that the big toe is just on the floor and the leg is as straight as it can. Look down at your thigh. Have you shifted over to one side, or are you nice and vertical? Get your head to reconnect with gravity and then bring yourself back in. And you're going to do the other side. So keep pressing into your hand. Just like we lifted our nose off the floor, now imagine the floor is up here and you're trying to stay away from the floor as you just slide the leg in and out. And we want to feel, can you get as little shifting as possible as you go in and out. So there'll be a little bit of abdominal activation, there'll be a little bit of back activation. We're working the back of our neck. You can feel the weight shift between side to side. We're going to do just one more here and rest, and we're going to take that into a full Superman. So I want you to slide your middle finger and your leg away from you until they're straight, and you're going to keep getting someone to pull them away so that you can lift them up. Take them back down as far away from each other as possible and slide them back in again. We're going to do the other side. Stay on the mat with the first slide. I want you to get to as straight as possible before you lift up. Then bring the arm and leg down, then slide it back in again. So it's almost 4 distinct movements. And the reason that I say that is because I always want you to be able to check in at every point and see, are you creating as much kind of stretch tension as possible so that we know the rest of us is working. And we're not going so high that we stick out our bottom and arch our back. Just like we did on our tummy, we're trying to keep that pelvis in a relatively straight line, similar position, so that there's a little bit of a shift side to side, but it's not arching or rolling. So we're going to make this one our last one. And rest, sit yourself all the way back. You can shake and roll out those wrists if you want to, and well done.
Why not check out these related videos? Thanks for joining us, everyone.